Hi, I'm Kelly of Craft & More blog and Creative Catalyst Productions. Today I'm going to show you how to do some mixed media Christmas crafts. Let's get started. My favorite part of the holiday season is making and receiving cards. There's nothing cooler than opening your mailbox and seeing a handwritten envelope inside. I'm going to show you how to make some dove cards. You can use these techniques to make many types of cards. Let's get started. Here's what you'll need. Decorative papers. I'm using 12 by 12 inch cardstock. I like to choose analogous colors. Fusible webbing, fabric, ribbon, Mod Podge or any sort of matte medium. Any of the golden matte mediums will work. Paintbrush, blank cards, a paper cutter. I'm using a Fiskars cutter. And last but not least, a template. What we want to do is cut out strips of paper and then glue them together to make a sheet of paper. And this is what something is going to look like in the end. Here's a variation. Instead of taking cardstock, take the countless catalogs you get every Christmas and cut them up. These are both from a Pottery Barn catalog. What's great about the catalogs is within them, they generally choose a color theme. And you can see the finished piece with this card here. So let's cut our strips. I have found that 1/4 inch strips work best. This works perfectly because for my Fiskars, this is 1/4 inch. So I'm going to put my first piece of paper through, pull the paper over, and cut. So I'm going to cut out a ton of each. So now that I've cut out my strips, I've put them in sort of a pattern. I'm going to take my first one. I have my Mod Podge, and I've taken newspaper. You'll want a really thin piece of paper to glue them down because you're gluing paper onto paper, and if you glue them down to cardstock, it'll become really thick. So I have a paintbrush and my Mod Podge. What's also nice about this newspaper is I've cut it, but I have a right edge, and that way you want to butt it up as closely and accurately as possible. Otherwise, as you glue them down, your strips will start slanting. Run my finger along. So now I'm going to put my next strip down, run some Mod Podge right along next to it. I try pretty hard to not get Mod Podge on top of any of the strips. It's impossible to keep it completely clean, but try. So now I'm going to butt it up against the edge of the newspaper, but also the edge of the other piece of paper that's already laid down. So work it down along. There you go. What I like to do is do a whole sheet of these strips so then I can just continue on and cut out a bunch of doves and make a bunch of cards. But really, if you only want to do one card, you only have to do it as deep as your dove is tall. So you have to come down this far, at least. So now I have this finished sheet of strip paper. Flip over the paper. You can kind of tell where the paper is by the divots. And trace. And now I'm going to cut this out. Now you're going to want to choose ribbon and fabric to go with the dove. Kind of like the red, even though I know that's too much red. Maybe the brown. I think I'll do it vertically in that these stripes are already horizontal. If they're both horizontal, I think they'd fight each other. I think I'm going to make it really Christmassy and choose the green. The way we're going to put this all together is by fusible webbing. Fusible webbing has two sides. It has a smooth side where you can draw or write and you see the line. And then you have the side that is textured. So we want to cut out a rectangle for the card and the dove. This is where our template comes in handy again. That way we're not drawing on our finished piece. You want the fusible webbing to connect to the back. So you want the sticky, the texture side, to go on the back. Which means when you draw your template, you want to make sure that you take that into mind. And also my card. First I'm going to attach it to the card. So what you do is you put the textured side down and just iron it out. So now that I've ironed this down, I'm going to lift off the paper. Over here you can tell it didn't connect completely. So now I'm going to attach this to the fabric. All I do is iron it down. I'm going to set this aside and let it cool. Now onto my dove. All right, peel it off. You may have to iron it a few times with these heavier fabrics. I'm going to take my ribbon and trim off 2 pieces. You want to fold it around so that it's clean. So hold that down. Now slip the other ribbon underneath and iron down. And there's our card, ready to write in and send. Thanks for crafting with me today. Go to ccpvideos.com and search Kelly Powers to find templates of the projects we did today and more tutorials. Thanks.